Welcome back to another episode of Work in Progress. Today I had the pleasure of speaking with Brynn Sandlin about Sherwin Williams. I am so excited for everyone to meet Brynn at the fair, and I hope you all heed her advice on both the practice booth and conducting some window shopping. All right. Well, hello. It is so nice to meet you, and I am so glad you are here. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. Thanks so much for having us on. We're very excited.
Of course. So, can you tell me a little bit about who you are and what company you're representing?
Yeah, so I'm Brynn Sandlin. I am an early talent recruiter for Sherwin Williams Company. So before this, I was a teacher for 17 years.
Hmm.
So now I think it's really cool. I get to work with students just in a different way along their
Yeah.
educational journey. So I still get to interact with them. I am from Sherwin Williams. A lot of people might have seen our blue trucks. They might have seen our paint stores around town.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are, really surprised to find out all we have to offer.
Yeah.
We are the world's largest paint and coatings manufacturer. And we have, we're a Fortune 200 company with a ton of growth
Mhm.
opportunities along a career path. So
That's awesome. You have a lot available at your company, so that'll be great for the career fair. I know a lot of students will be very excited to meet y'all.
yes, I'm excited to come to Clemson.
So, what do you look for in students who come up to your table at the career fair?
I think mainly communication.
Yeah.
So when they come up, can they hold a conversation with us?
Hmm.
Does it go back and forth easily? I know they're usually nervous, so we try to lead that conversation, but can they come back and respond?
Yeah.
Um, Professionalism, how do they carry themselves? Did they take time to, consider their appearance today before just swinging by?
Yep.
And then I think their overall interest, we try to find
Mhm.
out what they're interested in to even see if this would be a good match. So
Yeah.
what are their interests after graduation?
So then, how should a student approach your table at the career fair, at least from an employer's perspective?
Yeah, I would say this is hard, but be confident.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling it, just fake it. Put those shoulders back, hold your head high,
Hmm.
smile. Try and just be friendly and have a conversation. Friendliness, are you ready to engage in a conversation? Much like we're hoping to look approachable to you, are you looking approachable when you
Yeah.
come up to our table? I think a big one is to just being engaged with that employer you're speaking with.
Hmm.
Even if kind of during the conversation you feel like maybe this might not be right for me, be respectful, be engaged.
Yeah.
And then I think last is just that openness to hearing about what companies have to offer,
Yeah.
especially the ones that you don't know about. Some of the
Hmm.
big name companies like Wells Fargo, everybody knows who Wells Fargo is.
Yeah.
But what about those other companies who are just as big? They just might not be known to you. So just be open to
Yeah.
really willing to hear what they have to say and what they have to offer.
What is your company specifically looking for when it comes to Clemson students?
Okay, so I'm very excited to come to Clemson for the first time. I'm from Arizona.
Okay.
So when I think of Clemson, I think of sports on TV. I think of Final
Yep.
Four.
Yep.
So, in my mind, Clemson has always been this school where students have a really big sense of pride, sense of
Yes.
school spirit. So they're very heavily involved in their school. They're heavily involved
Hmm.
on campus, as part of the community. So, they might be in sports, they might be in clubs, different
Hmm.
activities that lead to these leadership positions that they've been, able to experience while in their college time on campus, I guess.
Yeah.
And then also, Clemson is a big name. It's a competitive school, so I think of students who have grit.
Yep.
They specifically wanted to go to Clemson, and they made it happen. They put in the work to get there.
Yeah.
We're always researching our schools to find out if it's even going to be like a good fit for us to be
Hmm.
there recruiting. And so when I was researching online, I found, your students do a lot of hands-on real world setting work project opportunities.
We do.
So
Yeah.
And I think that's great to just give them kind of that little bit experience as to what they're going to be applying in the real world.
Yeah, especially with the Career Center. I mean, we have our co-op program, we have our internship program. We have all these different ways for students to get real world experience. And then students will come in all the time and talk about their class projects, what they're doing with their clubs, organizations. So there are going to be a lot of involved students, and you will see a lot of that Clemson pride when you're here.
That's perfect. I'm so excited.
So I guess my last question is there any quick advice to students who may be nervous about coming into the fair?
Yes, I always recommend, a practice booth, have one or two practice booths. So booths that maybe you really have no interest in or you're not intimidated to go up to. Have
Yeah.
that be your practice booth, get your jitters out there, work your conversation in, see how you're going to want to really approach those companies that are more interesting and attractive to you.
Hmm.
Um, and then two, it's like, remember that career fairs are not interviews. It's
Hmm.
actually the opposite. I'm there trying to sell and promote my company to you.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, it's more me in that driver's seat and you're the
Mm,
buyer. So think of it like you're shopping at the mall,
I love
you
that.
know, walk around, window shop, go into the stores that you are possibly interested in, take in what they have to offer. If it's not for you, you don't buy the product and you leave.
Yeah.
You keep going. And then I think this is kind of from like my teacher's perspective, maybe a mom perspective too. But
Yeah.
most important when you're at career fairs, don't get too caught up in like the job titles
Yeah.
or what that first career step is going to look like. But rather see where it's going to lead.
Mm-hmm.
You're just graduating, you have your degree or you're about to get your degree. Definitely an accomplishment, something you should be proud of. But then
Mm.
now's also the time to put in the work and apply what you've learned in the real world
Yeah.
and really build that true experience. And then, just remember, it's not about where you start, it's where you end up.
I love it. I love all of that advice. I mean, I personally, I love the window shopping. I think that is a perfect way to describe that. And I also love that mindset switch that students should kind of think about of thinking that they're the buyers in this situation. They're the ones who need to be sold on your company. So I think that might really help a student who is truly nervous about going to the fair of realizing that you employers, y'all are nervous too.
Yeah, right. You want it to be a good fit all around for
Yeah.
everybody. And so we definitely want to draw that interest to our company, but we know it's very competitive. There's a lot of
Yeah.
companies out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And who doesn't love to shop, right?
Exactly. That's like the best time ever. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and speak with me. I know our students are really going to look forward to seeing you, and I can't wait to meet you myself.
Yes, I look forward to meeting you too.